Welcome to the Sleep to Dream Analytics Explainer video, where better sleep starts with better understanding.
Today, we're going to look at bipolar disorder from a totally new angle. We're going to focus on something that, it turns out, is surprisingly central to the whole thing, and it could completely change how we think about treatment.
So, here's the big question. What if those intense highs of mania and those crushing lows of depression aren't just affecting sleep, but are actually being driven by a major disruption in our body's most fundamental rhythms? That's the idea we're diving into.
Okay, so first, let's get on the same page. We're talking about a really serious condition that affects millions of people. This isn't just being moody. It's a chronic illness that has a huge impact on people's lives, and it generally comes in two main types.
So on one side, you've got bipolar 1. The hallmark of this is at least one full-blown manic episode. We're talking a period of super intense, elevated energy and mood that lasts for a week or more. Then you have bipolar 2. This involves at least one major depressive episode and also a less intense, but still really distinct period of high energy called hypomania. The human cost of being on this roller coaster is just enormous.
Think about this for a second. Even with the best treatments we have today, people with bipolar disorder can spend up to half their time feeling unwell, cycling through episodes, or dealing with symptoms that just won't go away. That is a staggering amount of time and quality of life lost. And right at the very heart of this struggle is a constant, complicated battle with sleep.
And when we say sleep problems, it's not just one thing. It's all over the map. During a depressive episode, someone might have insomnia and not be able to sleep. Or they might have hypersomnia and sleep way too much. Then, during mania, they can feel this incredible reduced need for sleep, like they could go for days. This isn't just some side effect. It's a core piece of the puzzle.
And this brings us to the absolute crucial point. The new way of thinking is that these sleep issues aren't just a symptom that comes along for the ride. No, it's a core mechanism. It's like the engine that's actually driving the illness forward, creating this awful, vicious cycle. So how in the world does that work? Well, this downward spiral really wreaks havoc in three critical areas of our lives. We're going to break these down one by one, because if you understand these pathways, you'll see exactly why this new treatment approach is such a game changer.
All right, first up, our emotions. Brain scans actually show that when you lose sleep, it messes with your brain's braking system for feelings. The rational part of your brain kind of loses its connection to the emotional center. For someone with bipolar disorder, that is like pouring gasoline on a fire. And sure enough, disturbed sleep is one of the most common warning signs right before a relapse into mania or depression.
Second, our ability to think straight. You know the problems with attention, memory, and problem solving that we see in bipolar disorder? Well, they get so much worse with bad sleep. When your sleep is all over the place, your brain's ability to just process information and function during the day takes a massive hit.
And third, let's talk about the body. This connection is dead serious. Insomnia is directly linked to a higher risk of cardiovascular disease, which, by the way, is already the #1 cause of premature death for people with bipolar disorder. So yeah, bad sleep doesn't just mess with the mind. It has these profound and sometimes fatal consequences for the body.
So the big question is, why? What is going on here? Why is the body's internal clock, our whole circadian rhythm, so completely out of whack in bipolar disorder? Well, researchers have zeroed in on three key factors.
First, light and dark. Our brain's master clock is basically set by when we see light. So irregular schedules, too much light from our phones at night, not enough bright sunlight in the morning, can throw the whole system into chaos. Second, our social rhythms. Things like when we eat, exercise, and hang out with people. Those are really powerful cues that keep our internal clock stable. When those are unpredictable, the clock gets weaker. And finally, genetics. It turns out some of us have variations in our clock genes that just make us biologically more likely to have these disruptions.
Realizing all this has led to a major, and I mean major, shift in thinking. The old way was to treat the mood with meds and just kind of hope that sleep would get better as a side effect. But the new approach completely flips that on its head. It asks, what if we treat the sleep and stabilize those body rhythms first as a direct way to stabilize mood?
And this new strategy actually has a name, CBT-I BP. It's a specialized therapy that takes all the proven principles of cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia and cleverly adapts them for the very unique challenges of bipolar disorder.
You know what's so cool about this? It's how practical it is. This isn't just about what you do at night, it's about the whole 24-hour day. It helps you lock in a consistent schedule for bedtime and wake up. It helps you stabilize the timing of your meals and social life. It even helps you challenge those unhelpful thoughts you might have about sleep.
The big idea here is that it treats a person's entire daily cycle, not just the few hours they're supposed to be in bed.
In fact, a lot of this powerful therapy boils down to a few core habits that act like strong anchors for your body clock. Number 1, lock in your wake-up time. Every single day. This is the single most powerful thing you can do for your circadian rhythm. Number 2, create a wind-down routine before bed in dim light to give your brain a clear signal that it's time to sleep. And number 3, get some bright light as soon as you wake up. That sends a strong, hey, it's daytime signal that shuts off the sleep hormones.
Okay, so all of this sounds really good in theory, right? But does it actually, work? Well, a pilot study was designed to answer that exact question.
And the results were, honestly, they were incredible. One group got the standard education about the illness. Over 6 months, they spent an average of 25.5 days in a mood episode. But the group that got the new CBT-I BP therapy, they spent an average of just 3.3 days in an episode. That is a huge reduction in sick time. It strongly suggests that when you stabilize sleep, you directly stabilize mood.
This led the researchers to a really powerful conclusion. Treatments that target sleep in our body clocks shouldn't just be an optional add-on. They should be a fundamental, frontline part of care for bipolar disorder. It really does reframe the whole approach to managing the illness.
And this leaves us with a final, really big thought. If stabilizing our daily rhythms of sleep and light and social activity can have such a profound impact on an illness as severe as bipolar disorder, what does that mean for mental health for all of us? It really makes you wonder, maybe one of the most powerful tools for our well-being isn't found in a pill bottle, but in the simple, steady rhythm of our everyday lives.
Thank you for watching the Sleep to Dream Analytics Explainer video. We hope you sleep well and dream easy.